Hi everybody, I'm going to delight you today with a story that Penny wrote called My First Crush. Did you ever do something as a child unintentionally that haunted you right through the winter of your years? Such a thing happened to me when I was in the 6th grade of junior high at Braden School. It all started with a hayride put on by my Sunday school class. I can still see the big trailer when it pulled up. It had sidebars, was filled with hay, and hooked up to a large pickup truck. The lot was filled with my classmates from both school and Sunday school, parents and Sunday school teachers who would accompany us on the ride. Where we were going, we didn't know. It was going to be a surprise. I was bundled up in my car coat and dressed all warm. Mama had given me a knit hat and gloves to wear, but I didn't want to get out with them on and stuff them in my pockets. It was February, so it was cold. She also gave me a small-sized blanket to put over myself during the ride, just in case I did get cold. Getting the girls on was easy. 2 men stood at the back and helped us up. We all made a dash for the very back of the trailer and found our spots in the deep hay. A few stern warnings to the boys running around, doing what boys do. Finally got them loaded and we were off. Everyone was looking through the bars, trying to guess where we were going. Every time we thought we might have a clue, the truck would take another turn. One of the boys stood up, not much later, looked through a side at the back and yelled, "Hey y'all, we're headed out of town, like when you go to the airport. That's it, we're going to the airport." Everybody was talking and trying to stand up to look. Not easy in a trailer full of hay on a not-so-smooth highway. Suddenly, a pierced sound broke through our chattering, bringing all of us to a complete standstill. 2 more. Ouch! It was one of our chaperones blowing a whistle. "Everybody, sit down right this minute. You are not to stand up on this hayride, not until we get where we're going. I really mean it. If one more person does, we'll just turn around and go back. Now, do you understand?" We all slunk back to our spots, mumbling, "Yes, sir." Well, we passed that airport. We went right on by. But by then, we were busy talking to each other and enjoying the excitement. I noticed a lot of whispering going on both sides. I had my back to the rear of the trailer truck. My cousin Bernsey, who wasn't far from me, scooted out, leaned towards me and mentioned, "Jeff likes you. He wants to know if you like him back." Well, I'd had a huge crush on Jeff since summer. I couldn't believe it. I noticed all eyes were on me. He hit my leg and said, "Well, do you?" I whispered a little yes and pulled my blanket up to my nose. He slid back into his place and whispered into the ear of the person next to him, who whispered into the ear of the next person until it got all the way down to Jeff, sitting opposite me at the other end of the trailer. In the dark of the night, I can still see his grin. He was sitting next to one of the chaperones, and I saw him talking to her. All of a sudden, he was on all fours and crawling up the middle of the truck, right towards me. My eyes couldn't believe what I was seeing, and every person he passed urged him on. I was both excited and terrified at the same time. What to say when he got there? Turning himself around and pulling up beside me, he smiled and said, "Could you share some of that blanket? It's pretty cold out here, Penny." Pulling my knees up, I gave him half. Everybody's staring at us. Looking around, he said, "Yep, don't worry about it. They'll stop. So you really like me?" I was so glad it was dark and he couldn't see my blush. "I do, but I didn't think you liked me," he laughed. "Same here." Suddenly, the truck was turning off the road. "Stay seated until we come to a complete stop," we were told. Several of the boys were crying out, "Told you so, the Natchez Trace, Coles Creek." Coles Creek was a favorite on the trace. In the summertime, we could go down the high cliff and wade in the water, which was always clear, and we looked for arrowheads. It had picnic tables, barbecue pits, restrooms, and lots of space to run and play. Everybody scattered, and the adults got busy lighting the pits to grill hot dogs while another started building a fire. This had 2 purposes: for us to warm ourselves and roast marshmallows later. Jeff and I walked around together. He suddenly stopped behind a tree. Going back, I just looked at him and he said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" I'd never been a girlfriend, but I quickly said yes. Next thing I knew, he took off running to a group of boys, and they all looked at me, then they all ran, stopping to tell everyone they ran across something that made them look at me as well. Jeff returned. "What did you do?" I asked. He grinned and said, "I told everyone you were my girlfriend." We sat together to eat our hot dogs and roast our marshmallows, as well as on the ride home later. At school, Jeff would meet me at my locker every morning. We'd play together at recess and sit together at lunch. March arrived, and the 9th was my birthday. Mama had agreed to let me have a slumber party with all my girlfriends, a big one. I'd been to plenty and had friends sleep over, but never had anything like this. I'd been with her to buy all the decorations, and she said I could help her finish up after school. Jeff had been waiting that morning to wish me happy birthday and asked me to meet him at my locker after school like we usually did. School ended, and only having 2 books, I rushed down to the front of the school and saw our green station wagon. I couldn't wait to talk to Mama about what all she had done, what meal she had decided on, etc. I was ready to decorate. I ran for the car and jumped in the front seat, chattering away. My birthday was all I dreamed it would be, and then some. The house had decorations everywhere, downstairs and in my bedroom. Mama made my favorite spaghetti and meatballs, plus a chocolate cake with chocolate icing. We had vanilla ice cream to go with that. We played out in the yard until dark, and at bedtime, we all got in our sleeping bags and told ghost stories until we fell asleep. Mama made pancakes and sausage before the girls' mothers came to pick them up the next day. It was the best birthday party ever. We were all watching TV Sunday night when the phone rang. Mama answered it and talked for a bit. Then, "Pendleton Hyde Coleman, come here." Looking at Baba, I whispered, "What did I do?" She shrugged her shoulders, but I couldn't imagine. Walking slowly into the parlor, Mama was looking at me, her eyebrow raised. "Oh no, come right here," she sternly said, pointing to her knees. Inching my way over, I stood before her and waited, thinking, it must be a mistake. "Did you forget to do something before you left school Friday, young lady?" I thought and thought. "No, ma'am." Yikes, that eyebrow went even higher. "Yes, you did. Didn't you tell Jeff that you would meet him at your locker after school?" Thinking back, I said, "Oh, he did, but I was in a hurry to get home, Mama." "Penny, he had a birthday present for you. It was very special to him. He even helped his mother pick it out. She said he'd been upset about it all weekend. You should be ashamed of yourself. You will meet him at your locker tomorrow morning. He'll give it to you. You open it, and you will not only thank him, you will first apologize for your very rude behavior. Do you understand me?" Did I understand? I felt awful. I thought about it all night. Mama took us early the next morning. I stood at my locker, nervously waiting for Jeff to appear. Was he going to hate me now? Not be my boyfriend anymore? I wouldn't blame him. Suddenly, he came around the corner. My heart started beating faster. Look at him, I thought. So handsome in his crisp white shirt, blue jeans, and thick dark hair. "Please don't hate me," I silently prayed. Then his eyes met mine, and he broke into that beautiful grin. I started talking before he was at my locker. "I'm so sorry, Jeff. Please forgive me. I wasn't thinking, and He stopped me. "Hey, it's no big deal. I heard from one of the girls that your party was great fun. I knew it would be. Here. I just wanted to give you this." He handed me a box wrapped in beautiful paper with a bow and a small card that said, "Happy Birthday." "Wow, it's gorgeous wrapping. I bet you didn't do that." He laughed. "I'm not telling. Go ahead, open it." My hands trembled as I carefully removed the paper and bow. I put that in my locker to save and held the white box in my hand. It had the name of a well-known jewelry store written in gold at the top. "Open it," Jeff said. I lifted the top to see the most stunning pearl necklace I had ever seen. Mama had a pearl necklace that she kept in her jewelry box on her vanity, but me? I just stood there, my eyes fixed on the small white pearls in the gold clasp. Time stood still. The sounds of the boys and girls rushing by, doors opening and closing, chatter, all went away. I was in a vacuum. just me and my pearls. Suddenly, I felt a hand on my arm and Jeff's voice. So, do you like it? Pulled back into reality, I said, I love it, Jeff. It's the prettiest necklace I've ever seen, ever. Thank you. Jeff blushed as easily as I did. Let me put them on you. I lifted them out of the box, put them around my neck, and held on until I felt his hands take hold of them in the back. Can you pull your hair to the side, Penny? I can't see. Reaching back, I took my right hand and pulled all of my hair over to the right side. Is that good? I asked. Kind of grunting, he said, yeah, but this sure is a tiny little thing to open. Hold on. I think. There, I got it. Turn around and let me see. Dropping my hair, I straightened the necklace and turned. Wow, pretty, he said and smiled. I wish I could see it, I replied, putting the box in my locker. Well, those things they call mirrors are in the bathroom, aren't they? I suppose you'll have to wait till you get home. The bell had rung, and it was time to get to class. I got my book, shut the locker, and we walked off hand in hand to class. I received comments about my necklace all day long. Even my teachers noticed. After telling one it was a birthday present I'd gotten that morning from Jeff, she asked if I'd like for her to keep it at her desk until school was over. You wouldn't want to lose that pretty necklace on the playground, Penny. I declined and told her I would be extra special care. I wouldn't wait to show my whole family until later that evening, especially my sister Helen. She didn't have one, but would get one later that year in September for her 16th birthday. Mama had me put it in my jewelry box, and I was allowed to wear it to Sunday school and church and other special occasions. I've thought about that pearl necklace many times over the years. I will always feel remorse for not going to my locker that day because in my mind's eye, I can picture Jeff just standing there waiting and waiting. Then I see that smile on his face when I opened it and go back to the hayride, Coles Creek, and the first time I was asked, will you be my girlfriend? Okay, everybody, as an after note, I just want to let you know, I recently decided to call Jeff Lambden and share that story with him. It was shortly after Penny passed away, and I thought Jeff would get a kick out of it. I sent it to him, and I think he probably really enjoyed it, and I hope you all did too. I think everybody can remember the first time they were asked to be a girlfriend.